a good show. I don't go home and cry.
You don't? I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Maybe I should start doing that because you're consistently good in here. I don't know how I'm doing, so maybe I'll pick that up. I do like it, though. I like how they become more personable to us. I think you're right. When you see people show that emotion on TV, you can relate to them. You understand that they really care. And for Steve Stricker, he clearly puts a lot into his golf game and cares a ton about how well he performs. So to see guys show that emotion, especially Steve, it's enjoyable. It makes him more personable. It allows you to see that he puts a ton of effort into it and really, really has a passion for it. If he just won and shrugged it off and walked off and threw his ball into the crowd, would you think he really cared about the $1 million he won? Or would it just say, hey, I'm rich and it doesn't matter that I won $1 million playing in this golf tournament?
People are wired different ways, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. And I love it. I love to see it, and you love to see the diversity. Tiger gets fired up. Maybe he gets upset after he loses or he doesn't play well doing the interview. Steve lets the tears slide. Good for you, Steve. And a great win for him. Jack certainly was happy to see him win his tournament, a Midwest guy, as we mentioned last week. And it was just a great victory and a great tournament overall to avoid the weather delays except for that last one. Another notable person there, obviously Luke Donald played the world number 1. He tied for 7th. Tuning up for the U.S. Open. He's not playing this week, so T7 there. He'll be ready to play, I think, this week. Another thing that's notable is Ricky Fowler led the field with 26 birdies and 72 holes of golf, and it's always good to go out and practice making a lot of birdies before you're going into a major championship. He will be at the U.S. Open as well, so we'll see how he fares. He's used to making some birdies. Maybe that propels him to a top 10 finish. Maybe it propels him to his first win. That would be amazing if Ricky Fowler got his first win at the U.S. Open, and certainly in that mindset of making birdies helps you come out and play well. So, Memorial, let's move on to Tiger. Tiger drops out of the U.S. Open. The leg injuries have been chronicled by everybody in the media, national media, not just golf media, which is interesting that Tiger is just that guy that can get that much publicity, but we've seen him so much, and he's such an iconic figure that it makes sense. Withdraws from the Open. He won his tournament, the AT&T, at Congressional. So I think he's obviously a little bit upset about that. He's familiar with the golf course. It was his tournament that he held there at Congressional at Bethesda, and he won it. He's got some good memories there. Another thing that's going on with Tiger, Steve Williams is working with Adam Scott this week as opposed to working with Tiger. Now, I don't know what that means for their relationship. Now, Tiger switched swing coaches recently. His agent got fired from his agency, moved to a different agency. Adam Scott and Tiger do share the same agent, so, apparently Adam Scott's in between caddies, for everybody in your relationships out there, how you get in between boyfriend, girlfriend, or however that works. Adam Scott is in that point in his golfing career and his golfing relationships, so he's been lent Steve Williams for the week, and what does that mean, Chris? Is Tiger going to get rid of Stevie? Is Stevie going to pick up Adam Scott's bag for good? Or is Steve just out there trying to make a buck because Tiger hasn't really played in 2 years? What do you think?
That what you just said it right there. I think that's probably it. I think you don't want to disassociate yourself with the name and the brand of Tiger Woods, but he's not playing.
Right.
Yeah,
and I would agree with you. I don't think this is a permanent thing.
Got to make a living.
Adam's an Australian, Stevie's an Australian. They've been good friends for a long time. That makes sense. Stevie hasn't picked up a paycheck in a long time, right? And he did at the Masters, of course, but on a consistent basis, Steve probably wants to make a little bit of money, and he's really good at his craft. And one of the things that they talk about, which I thought was interesting on ESPN.com, was that Stevie Williams is a competitor too, although he's not the guy competing per se in the tournament. He's a part of that team, and he wants to be in those major championships as well. So good luck to Stevie and Adam Scott this week. Who knows? Maybe Adam Scott's got a chance. He's been playing well. And I think it's a great thing that Tiger's willing to lend him out and shows that Tiger's got a little bit of a heart. Now, if Stevie stays with Adam Scott, I think it's a bad decision long term. I think Tiger's going to come back and make more money than Adam Scott will for the rest of his career. However, good for Tiger for letting him out there. And the real question is Tiger done? Is he done for the year? Is he going to win again? Is he ever going to win again? What do you think, Chris? Does this withdrawal scare you? Does it startle you? Does it bother you?
It scares me in the sense that something about the way that he keeps adjusting his swing and changing his swing is hurting him. The torque and the twist. That's the reason golfers get hurt so much. I mean, they stand still and twist their body in a really weird, spastic kind of way. That's
depending on who you are, more spastic than others.
Well, yeah, mine's a little more spastic than Tiger Woods.
Mine as well.
But you know what I mean? Like that amount of torque on your body is just not normal. It's not. That's why they have people that do these swing lessons and work you out to do energy bursts like that. Even with all that, your body's not meant to twist and turn that way. Tiger's getting older. He's really fanatical about working out, but everyone who's that fanatical about working out gets hurt. And he's not as young as he was where he could bounce back from an injury like that anymore. And I hate to say the guy's done because you never really want to count out a guy like Tiger, but these injuries don't get better.
Yeah, well, I agree with you on the fact that he's hurt, and maybe it's the golf swing, and maybe it's not. I think it's got to do with more of his training regimen. I think in his weight, his body weight has something more to do with it. I don't think he's done. I think this is a sign that he has finally accepted the fact that he cannot play hurt. He's going to get himself right. He's going to get himself right before he comes back on the golf course, and that is a good thing. And when he comes back, and I think it will be this year, I think in 2 weeks he will win. So watch out when he comes back. Give him 2 weeks of solid practice and solid play, and he is obviously a force to be reckoned with. So I'm not encouraged by the fact he's not at the US Open. Of course you want to see him there. Of course everybody wants to see him there. But at the same time, I think this is a good thing that he's finally realized, I am hurt. I need to get 100% better before I show up on the golf course, because clearly he'd been showing up and playing in tournaments when he wasn't 100% and still thought that he could win. And I just think that it's a great thing for Tiger that he's finally going to take the time and get himself 100% healthy. Okay, last thing I want to get to right here before the break, I just want to give the top 5 New Hampshire amateur qualifiers. I want to get their names out there, give them a little bit of credit. And the first guy is Steve Lane from Green Meadow Golf Club. Second, Jay Leonard, the Overlook Golf Club. Andrew LePage from the Oaks. Kevin Doherty from Manchester. Mark Thompson from Manchester. And Ryan Butler from Wyndham Country Club. So congrats, guys. They'll be playing in the New Hampshire Open, something that we'll cover. It's in July. I'll be giving updates for the whole week. It's at Nashua Country Club right up the street, which is a beautiful place. So congrats to those guys. Great job. Next segment, we got Dan Lockhart on, head of instruction at Rick Smith Golf Academy at the International. He's going to give us a tip for playing out of the rough, because we know the rough will be long this week up there at Congressional. And he'll talk a little bit more about what they're doing down there at Rick Smith Academy right here on WGAM.